A well-trained thief can break into your car in just a matter of seconds. Well, listen up, because I'm exposing some car burglar secrets. Technology in cars is getting more advanced. You might think that carjackers are also using super advanced tech or gadgets to keep up with the flow. Well, mostly no. Old tricks still cover the majority of thefts. Experts say many drivers fail to take the simplest precautions. 43% of people don't check the door handle to make sure their car is locked before walking away. So, tip number 1, lock your car, and then check again if it's locked or not. Here is a new generation trick. Apparently, sometimes all you need to steal a car is a plastic bottle. Here's the thing. Thieves walk in a parking lot, they lay their eyes on a car, they put an empty plastic bottle over the tire on the passenger side. The driver starts the engine and the car begins moving. Ah, what's that crinkling sound? They get out of the car to check it out and bend down to see what's going on there. And then the thief comes and either steals the car or grabs the driver's valuables. The driver's biggest mistake in this case is to leave the car running. Rule number 3 is kind of related to these incidents. Don't leave your car running, like ever. Police warn that leaving your car keys in your car at a gas station, even while you're pumping gas, is an open check for thieves. They can simply hop in your car and go. I mean, it might seem like a great idea to warm your car up while waiting at home instead of staying outside in the cold, but this makes your car a target. Don't leave the car running. You dash into a store either. Plus, in at least 30 states, it's not legal to leave a car running and unattended in a store parking lot. Now, this may seem obvious, but don't ever leave something valuable in the car, even some change in the cup holder. You'd be amazed at how little it takes to attract a car thief. It's like, is that a… Yep, I'ma go for it. Now, more advanced solutions are also available. Some gadgets lock your steering wheel so that the car can't be driven. I mean, these devices probably won't stop thieves, but they will slow them down or at least make them second-guess themselves. Okay, now, here's something called Vehicle Identification Number. This number is unique to every car and its owner. Plus, it's public info. You can engrave your VIN on every window. This way, your car will become less valuable on the black market for its parts. No thief wants to drive a car that can be easily identified as stolen. Plus, changing the car windows costs a lot, so they won't want to deal with it. Now this one is my fave, using a kill switch. Thieves dislike those very much. This switch cuts the flow of electricity to the ignition switch or battery and disables the fuel pump. A hidden switch can prevent thieves from actually stealing your car even if they've already broken into it. The joke's on you, thief! Now close that door. Many new models come with a kill switch installed, and older versions can easily get one. Now meet Steve Fuller. He's a former car thief. He got convicted 6 times for stealing cars. But hundreds, yes you heard me right, hundreds of other times, he got away with it. He left the dark side though. Now he tries to make up for the things he did. So he agreed to tell the world the secrets only car thieves know. He confirmed that car thieves do not like kill switches. If they're well hidden, such switches may take some time to deactivate. Carjackers can't risk wasting too much time on one car, so they will move on to the next vehicle. Did you know that you might have an extra key in your car? Some cars have valet keys stashed inside the owner's manual or in the toolkit in the trunk. If that's true about your car, take the key out. If you know where it is, thieves will know too. You think you have a perfect hiding spot for your spare key, huh? Well, car thieves know where to look. Some people hide their extra keys under the bumper or beneath the floor mat. Thieves routinely check those places as well. Fuller says glove compartments, center consoles, doors, change trays, you name it, it's there. I found keys in all those places. More surprisingly, he admitted that after scoping out vehicles, he had found the key in 90% of the cars he had stolen. Some more interesting information comes from the National Insurance Crime Bureau. They found out that between 2016 and 2018, nearly 230,000 vehicles had been taken because the vehicle's fob had been left inside. Now, speaking of keys, car burglars can open cars by intercepting the signal from their keyless entry system. Yet, only just 5% of vehicles hide their fobs in an RFID wallet that can protect them from getting the signal intercepted. Now, imagine you come home and park your car in front of your house. You put the car keys on the car hanger near the entrance door. Bam! In the morning, you may not find your car where you parked it the night before. Many people believe that putting their keys anywhere at home is safe. Unfortunately, this is not enough. Car burglars can use devices to get the signals from keys and unlock devices remotely. The solution is to keep your car keys far away from the entrance door, in a place where thieves can't pick up a signal. Use technology to protect your car. Alarms with motion sensors are a no-no for thieves. A GPS tracking device can also be of use. In the worst-case scenario, it'll help police find your vehicle. Car alarms are also a real turnoff for thieves, so invest in a good car alarm. The last line of defense regarding devices is a dash cam with a surveillance mode. All dash cams are designed to record your drive, but some models also allow you to monitor your car when you're not around. You might think that leaving the windows cracked open to let the car fill with fresh air can't do any harm. Nope, that little bit is enough for a thief to slide his fast fingers or tools inside. First the window, then the door. Fuller says a car with a slightly open window equals finding an unlocked vehicle. There are nice things about living alone, but finding an unsettling message outside your home isn't one of them. On a snowy winter evening, a woman left her house to take out some trash. She noticed that someone had written 1F on the snow-covered trash can lid. Apparently, this is a short version of one female. Someone had been watching her long enough to know she lived alone. Her car could have been an easy target. So, experts suggest you take a quick look around every time you leave home. Another trick carjackers use involves cheese. Imagine walking to your car and spotting melted cheese on your engine hood. Is it some kind of a prank? You begin to clean it away, but it takes ages. Meanwhile, someone might be watching you from a distance, waiting for the right time. They're likely to jump into your car and drive away while you're busy dealing with the cheese. Fuller says car thieves don't really like going to open and visible places, like in front of houses or in driveways. Dark and empty locations, such as apartment buildings, carports, and underground parking garages, appeal to them much more. He says he liked those places because they were very quiet. He could always hear it when someone was approaching. So, tip number 14, park your car in crowded areas.
Burglaries are on the rise in your neighborhood, and you have concerns about whether your house might be vulnerable. You have no surveillance system, so tonight you're placing some foil over the front door handle before you go to bed. This will help identify if someone sneakily tries to enter while you sleep. You wake up the next morning, and it appears the foil is slightly ripped. Someone has been here, and they're sure to return. Another option is to put a mug on the doorknob. When the knob turns, the mug will fall, causing a noise to wake you up and hopefully deter the intruder. Your main concern is that a tradesman stopped by recently. He said that he was working next door and asked to use your toilet. You refused and felt bad at the time for being rude, but it was a very smart move. About 60% of burglaries in the USA are made by someone you know or have met before. That tradesman, while going to the bathroom, could have adjusted something in your house to make their return entry a little easier. They may have wanted to take a closer look at what security system is installed, check the structural integrity of your home, and found out what valuable loot you might have. Finally, today you're going on vacation. You need to prepare your house and make it as safe as possible. A full post box is the first thing a robber will look for in a target. Your neighbor will need to take your mail while you're away. A well-manicured property is a clear sign that you are always there. You've always kept your lawn mown and hedges trimmed, so you will need to arrange for someone to do this while you're away. If it was winter, any untouched snow around your house would also make it a target. Having a neighbor make pretend footprints that show recent activity will also provide a deterrent. There are many types of hedges that act as a great first defense. Luckily, you have sharp-leaved shrubs along your fences. If someone jumps into your property and lands on a sharp or spiky bush, they will immediately cry out in discomfort. This will alert your neighbors of an intruder. And the foliage will also catch fragments of clothing that could be used as evidence later. In preparation for your trip the week before, you opened and closed your curtains at random times throughout the day. You made sure there were no clear patterns, so it won't matter if they're left open while you're away, just in case someone was scouting your property. Burglars spend several days walking or driving through neighborhoods, identifying the behaviors of each house. One thing they don't really like is a neighborhood watch. Criminals do their research before they start scouting, and will avoid these areas. Something for you to organize when you get back. Now, move all your expensive electronics away from the windows, so there's nothing of value in clear view. Put them inside a cupboard or a concealed room. Don't worry about TVs. They're too large and take effort to move. The criminals are more interested in the smaller devices, like an iPad and gaming devices. Put your small expensive items, like jewelry, in boxes and hide them away in a secret location. Surprisingly, a kid's room is a good spot. Burglars have admitted to never going into them, as there's nothing of value in toys. Take photos of all the serial numbers on your electronic devices and create an inventory for insurance purposes. 95% of break-ins are done by force, so it's time to reinforce your windows and doors. You can make it even more difficult for the crooks. Remove all stools, chairs, and ladders in the backyard and put them into your garage. Otherwise, they will help provide easier access points to higher entrances, like the air conditioner box. This is one of their favorites. Without a way to reinforce it, it's easy to tear off and creates an entrance. Don't make it easier for them with a step-up. Burglars can break down a weak door within 1 minute. Install a metal frame instead of wood for more support. The hinges and lock should have adequate strength to withstand being kicked long enough until they give up. With the lock as the remaining weak spot, this can easily be picked by an experienced thief. A simple protection lock that holds it in place will make sure it won't budge. The hinges on your garage door swing outwards, which makes it vulnerable and can be accessed by taking the pins out of the hinges. Replace them with tamper-proof pins so they can't be removed. And lastly, the garage overhead door is one of the first places a burglar looks to access. They don't have a lock that fully secures them. Attach a padlock on the latch connecting it to the track, holding it in place. Your garage door doesn't have this option, so drill a hole in the track just above one of the rollers and attach a padlock. Robbers are scared of dogs, the territorial and loyal guardians of the house. A survey found that most houses burgled didn't have dogs because thieves don't want to draw attention during a heist. Unfortunately, you don't own one, but just placing a dog bowl outside the front door will discourage them. Burglars have adapted their craft with technology. 4 out of 5 criminals use social media, like Facebook, Twitter, and Google Maps to find their targets. Even sharing a photo with a house key in it is enough for a burglar to create their own key by zooming in and taking the exact measurements. Make sure your wireless network is secure and use a new, much stronger password while away. You're not only vulnerable to physical objects being stolen. Valuable data like passwords and access codes can be taken through your network. And there's also the threat of infecting devices through malicious malware. You can also remove the vision of your house completely from Google Maps. Type in your home address, find the street view of your residence, press the Options button, and select Report a Problem. You'll be taken to a screen with an image of your home, with the option to move a red square to cover your property. Request it to be blurred under the option My Home and enter your exact address. It will only take a couple of days to be processed. Don't leave the radio on while away. It won't help. Through the burglars' method of scouting houses, they take note of radio and TV sounds. When they return, they check if they're still on, which just makes it easier to confirm that no one's home. An alternative option to show active presence at home is by making your own audio, something that plays ambient noises randomly throughout the day, with footsteps, conversations, and a dog barking. Leaving your lights on is also not a good idea. Someone spying will notice your house easier, especially at night, and you'll be further robbed on your electricity bill. You're just about ready to leave on your vacation and need to take the trash out. If you have some large boxes, break them down so they can fit inside the bin. Hide any clues about what valuables you recently received. Last check, all the doors are locked and no windows are left open. Now you can finally enjoy your trip. But as you enjoy yourself in your picturesque location, leave any snaps on your phone while you're over there and post them online only when you return. If you do share your photos while you're away, it will have made all your preparations pointless. Every criminal in the area will know you're not home. But with 2.5 million houses burgled annually in the USA, a house without a modern security system is 300% more likely to be broken into. When you get back from your break, it will be a great idea to install one.
Do you know how to behave with strangers and what to say to them to keep yourself safe? Here are some tips. Check if you know them all. You're on vacation and traveling solo. There's a long line of people waiting to check in at the hotel. It's your turn, finally, and the inexperienced receptionist happily announces that your room number will be 321. I know you're tired and can't wait to get into the room, but for your safety, ask the receptionist to give you a new room and write the number on a piece of paper this time. No one in that line needs to know where you'll be staying. Before entering the hotel room, make sure there's no one in the hallway. Lock the door the second you get inside. Before going to sleep, put some things in front of the door. If someone gets inside the room at night, they'll fall and wake you up. If someone in the hotel lobby asks you if you're traveling alone, always tell them, "No, I'm with friends." The same rule works for planes, trains, and any other transportation. You never know if your fellow passenger is asking that out of curiosity to have a chat, or if they have something mean in mind. When someone asks if you're staying at that hotel, don't rush to answer, "Sure." Instead, tell them you're waiting for a friend or colleague. If you ever need directions and someone offers to walk you to the place, politely reject that offer. I know how to get there. All they have to do is point you in the right direction. You never know where a stranger might take you if you blindly follow them. If a stranger asks, "Where are you staying?" avoid the answer, or give them some popular hotel name, like Hilton. Those hotels are everywhere. If you want or have to be more honest with them, narrow down the area you're staying in, but never mention the exact hotel name. If a passerby gets too interested in you and won't leave, act weirdly. Pretend you don't speak their language, even if you just did like 2 minutes ago. Make weird faces, or start singing. The more attention you draw to yourself, the better. No one will do anything to a person everyone is staring at. When planning your travels, try to avoid arriving at a new place when it's dark outside. It's always easier to find your hotel in the light of day when there are more transfer options and people around. You'll feel more secure and save some cash. Speaking of cash, I guess we all know the good old trick of hiding it in your underwear, money belt, or other accessories. but always make sure to have at least some money in a dummy wallet. If the worst happens and someone wants it, you can always throw it at them to not make them angry because you have nothing to give them. When ordering food, you don't have to give them your real name. If you feel uncomfortable inventing a fake name for yourself, just say it's for someone else and use some common name. If you ever have to give your address at a crowded pharmacy or the store, say, "Sign up for a loyalty program." Never say it out loud. Whisper it or write it on paper so strangers don't hear it. You've just finished some successful shopping. You return to the most empty and dark parking lot at the mall and get in your car. Wait, is that a jacket on your windshield? You decide to get it off. Stop right there. This is a trick bad guys use to get in and drive away in your vehicle. Let security know about it and ask them to escort you to the car, and wait until you go away safely. The same trick works with flat tires. If you notice it after a visit to your favorite store or restaurant, go back in and ask someone to help you. If you approach your car alone, someone might come up to you and offer help. And that someone will most likely be the person to blame for your flat tire. When you exit your workplace, no matter if it's a small store or an office, never answer the question about your working hours directly. Tell whoever is wondering they aren't fixed, and the manager decides about them. And if someone is wondering if you're working alone, always tell them there's someone else in the back. Did you enjoy making up secret languages and code words as a child? You can now use this skill for your safety. Agree about a secret phrase with your family or close friends to share if you can't talk or text usually. No worries, I'm going on an adventure could stand for send help ASAP. You can take this life-saving game to the next level and decipher the name of the highway you're on or the mall where you got in the car with someone you no longer feel comfortable about. Knowing some basic self-defense techniques never hurts, even if you, hopefully, never get to use them. Remember, the most vulnerable spots to aim for are the eyes, the nose, the jaw, the Adam's apple in the front of the neck, the solar plexus just below the ribs, the knee, and the instep. If you ever have to share an elevator ride with a stranger, stand with your back to the buttons panel. This way, they won't be able to stop it between the floors. Never check in on any social media when you arrive at your restaurant, hotel, or new mall. Do it after you leave. Your friends will be just as excited or jealous, whatever you're aiming for. And you'll protect yourself from digital stalkers. Those people can track down anyone, especially if you have a public account. If you don't feel comfortable living alone in your new area, make it look like you actually don't. Drop a couple of pairs of slippers of different sizes on the outside doorstep. This way, whoever is interested will get the idea several people live inside. Get to know your neighbors. You may or may not end up making new friends, but at least you'll have some people who know you and will react if they notice some suspicious action around your house or apartment. Once you see you can trust them, you can also let them know when and how long you're leaving your home. Check the lighting in your building. Let maintenance staff know about any dark spots or missing light bulbs in the hallways. Parking lots, storage rooms, mail rooms, stairwells, and other common areas need proper lighting to avoid dangerous situations. When you're walking home alone, resist the urge to play some music in your headphones or call someone to feel safe while talking to them. When you're on the phone, you're more distracted, without peripheral vision, and with only one hand to protect yourself if you have to. Imagine someone is following you in the street. You cross the street and they do the same. You get off the busy road and they do the same again. Don't get too far from the main road. Stop and pretend you've forgotten something. Pat your pockets, act like you're looking for something, say your wallet. Don't pretend to be looking for the phone. The stalker might believe you don't have it and get their hopes up. Start walking in the opposite direction. It's unlikely they'll want to follow you into a busy street. Plus, if you're acting as good, they might lose interest in you since you don't have money. Try walking into the first coffee shop you see. Head straight to the bathroom and wait for 5 to 10 minutes. If the stalker is still there, ask staff members for help when you walk out. If you have to wait for public transport when it's dark, try to stay near other people who are also waiting. If there's not one, stay inside some building in a well-lit area until your transport arrives. When the bus is finally there, look around. If someone is acting weird or seems suspicious, let the driver know. Since there probably won't be a lot of passengers, don't go to the farthest corner of the bus. Stay closer to the driver to ask for help if you have to.